Hey everybody, this is Sarah Harnish. I'm a Young Living Diamond and I'm the author of the Game Plan book, The Complete Strategy Guide to Go from Starter Kit to Silver. And this is a brand new leader training that I just started putting together for you guys last week to teach you how to run game plan boot camps with your own team. So it's something unique. I've never done it before, and we're collecting all of these videos and putting them up on the oilabilityteam.com website. So when you want to go back and run a boot camp on your own, you have all the tools that you need to be able to do that. All right, you've got the words, you've got the graphics, we make you look good. It's all in one spot. So ooh, I got a tickle cough. I'm right off of a trip from Chicago just by a couple of hours, so getting my bearings here tonight, and then I will be leaving for New Orleans in 30 hours, and then South Florida, and then Minnesota, and then I'm going into what I call writing hibernation, because it's time to come off the road and sit down and focus on Unstuck, which is my next book, which will have a book and a workbook and a boot camp and an audio book, and it's going to be amazing. Some other things to watch for in the next month or two, we're going to be releasing the ULA Audible book. Also going to be releasing a little 5-day ULA boot camp that I shot with the ULA guys. That's going to be coming up in February. And I have so many things up my sleeve for Unstuck. So really, really, really excited. It's not very far away, not as far away as it may seem. So this is not the actual boot camp video. I'm going to post that video in just a few minutes when I'm done with this one. This is a video that just talks to the leaders. Those of you out there trying to train two, trying to create duplication in your team. This has worked so successfully, so very successfully for me and my team. We have taken our OGV from 274,000 to 731,000 by running 20 months of consecutive game plan boot camps. So it's absolutely worth it. If you're just hopping on and you're like, okay, I've never seen her do this before. I don't know what it is. I'm not even really sure what game plan is. Game plan is all things Young Living in one place. It's all in one spot. So we're talking 25 chapters of strategy training and comp plan training and virtual office training. Instead of buying 10, 15 books, you just need one, right? Because it's all in one spot. And I hand it to people that are budding leaders that just need to learn the lingo, learn what an upline is, what a downline is, what OGV is. There wasn't anything written like this for Young Living, so I collected it and just put it all in one spot so it's easy for you guys to be able to share with your team. So when I'm running a boot camp with my team, I grab the book and I grab the workbook. And then lots of you guys have written me and said, well, do I need the workbook? Yeah, it's how you get accountability. Right? So you're writing your own opens, you're writing your own closes, you're practicing the script 10 times in the mirror, you're making a list of your warm market and your contacts that you know, whether it's out of your cell phone or Facebook or Instagram, your social media, address book on your computer that you send Christmas cards to. You're tracking all that. You can't do that if you're just reading the book and watching the videos. Right? This holds a different level of accountability to you and to your leaders who are training to train to. And by the time they're done with this thing, and we only got 6 days left, it's only a 12-day boot camp, so it goes really fast. By the time that you're done with this thing, they're trained inside out and upside down. All right, inside out and upside down on all things Young Living. They understand strategy. They know how they're paid. They get rising star bonuses, and they know how to build for that. They understand the difference between sponsor and enroller. You know, they have a script in their hands. They know how to duplicate the script. They're doing actions that actually lead to OGV growth. And that was one thing I just wanted to mention a little bit tonight. So kind of what the Lord has laid on my heart to talk to you guys about tonight. The two chapters that we're covering this evening, this is day 7, so it's going to be chapter 13 and 14, and one of them is on confidence, and then the other one is just on business tools. It just lays out some different tools and tips, and I collected tools at the very back of the book too. One of the things I love about Game Plan is I've never seen before so many diamonds get behind one book. It was a huge blessing to John and I, and totally unexpected. They did that on their own. I wasn't even a diamond yet when I wrote this thing, and it's been really, really neat. And so something that I thought that I would do for the second edition, just to bring more unity among all the different teams and Team Young Living, is just to showcase some of the stuff that the diamonds have done, because it's absolutely incredible. Game Plan is the only resource with everything in one spot, but there are many, many, many tools that have been generated and created that are just absolutely absolutely fantastic tools that I use with my own team, like Jordan Schrantz's Do Hard Things book and Christy Rose's Instagram training. If you've got leaders that are really gifted on Instagram. I'm not gifted on Instagram, but I do have leaders that are. So it's great to pass those tools along to them. So I asked on Diamond, on the Diamond Facebook group, which you get into when you hit Diamond, I asked all the leaders to give me their tools and compiled a list. It took me almost 4 months to put it together, and I put it in the back of the second edition of Game Plan book because I feel very, very strongly that you need to model people that have had success and where you're going, right? And it's not to say that senior stars and stars can't develop some fantastic tools. I really do believe that they can. But I want to be a Royal Crown Diamond, right? And a Crown Diamond, a Diamond. So I'm looking to see which things Melissa Pepping has developed and what Jim Bob is talking about and what Ollie Wanker is putting together. And, and that's where my head is at with these amazing business tools. Jamie Natto's got a wonderful site. So, follow the people that have where you're going. They've already achieved the goals that you have, the goals that you have for your life. Heather just did a quick shout out. She says, I used your Fearless calendar with my last member that just signed up. She joined ER and hasn't even had her kit for 2 weeks yet. It works. Thank you. I actually just taught 5 classes in Chicago. The second class we did, we had 100% sign up rate, and immediately they were on Essential Rewards because we went through Fearless and we handed out the calendars. They accepted the challenges. They said, we're going to get on ER, even though we haven't finished reading the book yet, just from what we talked about. So it works very, very, very well. Yeah, very, very, very well. One thing that the Lord just really laid on my heart to talk to you guys about tonight is distraction. We have some months on our team where we're signing 600 plus people. In November, one day we signed 57 people in one day on our team. And then we have other months where we sign 20 people. With a team of 9,300 people, we signed 20 people in the course of a week instead of 57 in a day. And what's the difference? Like, what's going on? Usually it's distraction. And I know I've got a chapter about this a little bit later on, but I just wanted to kind of hone in on leader distraction for just a moment before we talk about confidence. All right. Instagram training, all of that information is listed in the back of Game Plan. I don't have each of the diamonds' names of all of their systems written out and memorized in my head. But if you just flip to the very back of the Game Plan book, there's a section in the second edition that talks about tools that were generated by the diamonds. And I wanted to promote that to you guys as leaders so that you have some other things in your back pocket. If you have a leader that's very strong on Instagram, or you have a leader that wants to get trained a little bit deeper on Facebook, or any of that, there's just some fantastic groups. And there's a lot of product education groups too, like the Essential Oil Club with Jim Bob, who's a precious friend of John's and mine. Their family is just absolutely amazing. And I haven't met a diamond yet that John and I don't just absolutely love. So if we meet a diamond and they have generated a tool, we try to put it inside the Game Plan book so that you guys know what the diamonds have put together. And you can go check out some of those resources for yourself, because if they've touched it and they're running multi-million-dollar businesses, it's worth taking a look at, right? It's absolutely worth taking a look at. My sister just signed a member for ER. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So distractions. I want to talk about higher level leader distractions. So you guys know, about lower level leader distractions. People out there making oils racks, or making diffuser bracelets, or going for aromatherapy certifications. We talk about all that later on in Game Plan in the distractions chapter. But I want to talk about leader distractions because it was just, I don't know, I just feel like somebody tonight really needs to hear that. Leader distractions are when you just slip into leader mode and you're out there and you're doing all these things to grow your team without actually growing your team. So you're hosting rallies and you're doing leaders retreats and you're running book clubs and getting everybody to read books and maybe getting all your team to sign up and go to a training together, or doing trainings in your living room. Those are fantastic things. Okay. And I'm definitely not going to put down getting you to host a rally, because it's going to increase product education, which will lead to increased OGV growth. But there are three things that will actually with your OGV. Number one is teaching classes, right? Even if you're a Crown Diamond, if you're a Royal Crown Diamond, maintaining your rank, you got to teach classes to make that happen, right? So what I find with leaders is we get either, number one, comfortable with our rank, so we just kind of plateau at our paycheck scale and we don't continue that upward climb, or we start relying on our leaders to build our OGV for us, and we stop teaching classes, and that's dangerous. So if you look at your paycheck for the last year and you're not happy with it yet, or it hasn't grown very much, or it's backslid a little bit, I would be willing to bet just about anything. The number one reason for that is you've stopped teaching classes. You're asking your team to do things that you're not going out and doing yourself. And so I don't know. Someone needed to hear that tonight. I notice that when I plateau, it's usually when I get comfortable in the rank and I'm excited about my paycheck and I'm, catching my breath from my hustle of hitting silver or hitting gold, and the catching my breath ends up being 2 years long, and then I'm sitting at the same, rank and paycheck's still the same. It all goes back to teaching classes, right? So if you don't have any classes on the books in November, that is not, or February or whatever month you're listening to this, the next month, right? That's not a rank up month for you. It's not going to be, because you're not out there doing the things that actually grow your OGV. So my warning to you is not don't lead. I'm not telling you don't lead. I'm not telling you don't get your leaders to events. Please hear my heart here. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is don't let that become such a priority that you stop teaching classes. All right? That you stop teaching classes. The minute you stop teaching, your team is going to start to disintegrate. All right. 80% of your time has got to be spent on bringing new people in, and only 20% of your time is spent on doing follow-up, educating your team, and leading your leaders. That's one of the reasons why I wrote Game Plan, because it's so easy to run boot camps. It's so easy. You give your team the link on where to get the books. You just put a little graphic up saying, hey, we're starting in 10 days, 9 days, 8 days, 7 days, 6 days. Here we go. It's game plan time. Then when it's game plan video time, you copy the words I've already written for you. You put it in a post, and you post the link to the video. And you pop on for 2 minutes at night, and you interact with your team and respond to the things that they've said. That's it. Like, running a game plan boot camp on your end costs maybe 10 minutes a day. All right, maybe 10 minutes a day to put your graphics up in the morning and your videos, and then to check their accountability later in that evening. It's so super, super simple. And they have read a 350-page book. They've worked through, 120-page workbook. They've made lists of their warm market, and they're running in the right direction. And they're not out there going and getting aromatherapy certifications and taking up woodworking to build oils racks, right? They're super, super focused on what actually grows their business. And what grows their business is teaching classes, number one. Finding leaders and getting people on ER follows after the classes. So if you're not teaching, you are not growing. You're drowning, and you're sinking lower and lower and lower into the ocean floor, all right? You've got to be out there teaching classes with consistency, just like we talked about on the last leader boot camp, with consistency every single week. For me to build to silver in 12 weeks, I taught 1 class a week. Technically, it was 2 classes a week, and then I took the next week off. But I was teaching 4 classes a month, and I hit silver in 4 months. And then I taught a class a week, and I hit gold 5 months later. And then I taught a class a week, and I hit platinum 8 months later. And then I taught a class a week, and I hit diamond 15 months later. The average time it takes to go from diamond to crown is 7 years, according to the Income Disclosure Guide. And John and I are about to do it in 2 years. And what have I done? What have I done between diamond and crown? Teach classes. What did I do yesterday? I taught 2 classes. And the day before that, I taught 3 classes, right? I made some beautiful friends, some beautiful Muslim friends that I was visiting in Bolingbrook, Illinois, and I taught in a mosque for the first time on Saturday, and it was absolutely amazing. We made lots and lots and lots of new friends, and we're very welcome, very warmly there. So, be willing to do things that scare you a little bit, step out of your comfort zone, but more than anything else, you got to be teaching, right? Janine says, I'm doing 10 classes a month until silver hits. Janine, I'm seeing it because you're adding new people to the team page every single day. It's awesome. But consistency is key, and making sure that your class count is high. And you know what? Don't stop just because you get to diamond. Don't stop your classes till you get to royal, all right? And your 5th and 6th legs are at 50, 60,000 and they're not dropping. That's when I would slow my class count down. But you just keep teaching until you get to royal crown diamond. You stop teaching, you're gonna stop growing. All right, you're going to stop growing. So that's my word for the leaders tonight. But let me just say a thing or two about confidence. This is chapter 13, and I'm speaking directly to the leaders because my boot campers are going to get all of this by doing the boot camp video, the day 7 boot camp video. By the way, the 6th video had a glitch that's fixed now, so you can pop on and watch that. So a little bit about confidence. Heart training is so good. Going to the Danny Johnsons, going to the Eric Worreys, going to the Richard Bliss Brooks and the Bob Kiyosaki's and the Tony Robbins. They're absolutely fantastic heart training. Very, very good heart training. It's amazing, right? So the element of pulling this off is confidence, and that's heart training. If you don't have confidence, nobody's going to trust what you're saying. They're not going to trust you because they have to work through this cloud of muck of your doubt and fear and anxiety on talking to them, all right, they've got to work through that to be able to get to the message of oils, all right, to get to the message of oils. So if you don't have confidence, nobody's going to trust what you're saying. And they definitely won't follow somebody who doesn't have what they want. So you've got to be propagating hope, or they're going to run screaming the other direction. If everything on your Facebook page is politics and vaccinations, right, and faith, and everything that you talk about is negative coming out of your mouth, and how bad you feel, and how much your body hurts, and how life is awful, and they're probably not going to come to your class. Because that's what you're propagating all over your page. You're spewing negativity. They have enough negativity in their life. They don't want that. Your page, you lost your personal Facebook page the day you started to do a Young Living business. That page no longer belongs to you, okay? It cannot be a political platform. That is a way that you connect with other people. And so if you're putting negativity up on your social media posts, you're scaring all your prospects away. You're scaring all those people that when you do put a post up for a class, they run away because they think, you know what? She said this, this, and this about her son the other day. I'm not really sure that I want to go to a Royals class, right? And so you really, really got to watch what you're putting out there on social media. You got to watch what you're putting out there with your tongue and with your speech, right? And hope. It's one of the top reasons I see that people are not able to fill classes when they're building relationships with people and they won't come. It's because they're like, dude, I saw the way she just talked to her son. I saw the way she just disrespected her husband right in front of me. Like, I don't think I want to learn from them. I will find somebody else. I'm interested in oils, but I'm not sure that this is a spigot that I want to drink out of, right? So there's no passion to their invite or no passion to their story. How do you tell your story when you're opening your 101 class, right? There's no passion to their close. It's just rote memorization or reading. We have a saying in the newsroom that we use every day: fake it till you make it. So you don't know an answer, you give them an honest response, or you teach them how to look it up themselves, right? Which is the better option. Or you tell them that you'll ask your upline, or you call member services for guidance, right? There's nothing wrong with not knowing an answer, but I've seen people take a lack of confidence to extremes. I mean, absolute extremes, or they're just shaken in their boots, right? I had a woman on my team who held class after class after class with 0 attendees. She literally had 20 classes, and her average class size was 24 people, and she didn't have a single person sign in any of the classes. And I went and I looked at what she was doing for wording her events, and it was something like this. It was, hey, if you want to learn more about essential oils, please come to my class. If you can't come, if it's okay, I'm going to be hosting other classes in the future if you're too busy. Like, who would follow leadership like that, right? You're not going to follow that. You give them an out every half second, right? That's like saying, if you want to douse yourself in chemicals for another 2 weeks until my next class, I'm totally okay with that. I don't have the confidence to tell you that you're poisoning yourself and your family, right? I don't have the confidence. The people that you don't speak to because of your lack of confidence are getting hurt. Right? They're getting hurt. So don't be so timid that you steal their lifeline when they most need you. Be willing, and that includes your clothes. You got to have confidence in your clothes as well. Just saying, hey, you know what? I'm a frugal mom. I like stuff discounted. The starter kit is the only thing that is half off on the website. I like stuff half off. It's the equivalent of getting like a diffuser and 2 bottles of oil for the entire kit with a Ningxia in it and the thieves in it and 11 full bottles of oil. Like, that's a really, really, really good deal. That's where I started. That's where I recommend that you start. Not because I'm trying to take advantage of you, but because it's a whole playground that I could train you on how to use oils. If you go buy 1 bottle of oil, how am I going to train you on Panaway? And how am I going to train you on thieves? And how am I going to train you on Raven when the only bottle of oil that you own is lemon, right? I can't train you on all that stuff. We've lost the playground for teaching. So I care about you, and I really want you to kick chemicals to the curb. And so come alongside me. Start with a starter kit. This is how you do it. I've got my laptop open in the back of the room. You go to youngliving.com. You click on Become a Member, and here's my sponsor and enroller number. Thank you, thank you, thank you for blessing my family. Thank you. You've made a difference in my life, and I'm going to make a difference in your life. I'm going to help you get every drop out of that investment of your starter kit because I believe in you. I love your family, and I want to train you some of the things that I have learned because I know what it's done for me, right? That's confidence. You're not saying you got all the answers and that you know everything there is to know about aromatherapy. Shoo, guys, I hold 6 different certifications in various fields of aromatherapy, and I stand in the presence of Gary Young, and I feel like I'm a toddler. I feel like I know absolutely nothing. I've done thousands and thousands of raindrops on people and emotional release and biblical aromatherapist. I've done everything. And I stand in the presence of Gary, who can open a bottle, across a room and tell me what constituents are in the bottle. And I know nothing. You're always going to come across people who who knows so much more than you do. That is not a reason to wait to hold classes. You just grab the script and you read it. And if you don't know, you ask questions, right? You look things up, you ask questions. That's what member services is there for. That's what your upline is there for, right? It's just, that's what confidence looks like. If you don't have confidence, you're dead in the water. You're dead in the water as a leader if you don't have confidence, right? As Shelly says, I like to take people. I only have room for so many people. So then if you're not planning on attending, let me know. That's beautiful write-up. Beautiful write-up. And it puts a sense of urgency also on the class as well. So don't be so timid that you're stealing people's lifelines, right? A lack of confidence can come from a lot of places. And I know as leaders, you guys have felt some of this. Setting goals and not hitting them repeatedly can end up with you telling yourself that you're just never going to win, ever. Losing hope, being abused. Here's the thing that I want to end with. God didn't make you that way, okay? He didn't make you scared. He didn't make you timid. He didn't make you full of fear. He didn't create you that way. He created you perfectly. Being timid and being afraid and being scared, those are learned behaviors. Having anxiety is a learned behavior, and I can prove it to you. I know 100%. What did you act like when you were 2 years old? All right? When you were 2 years old, what'd you do? Were you jumping off of couches, getting into everything, exploring, curious about life, joyful, laughing, giddy? I'm not saying introvert or extrovert, because I know there's some toddlers that will hide behind their parents when they meet somebody new. But when they're around their family, they're not afraid, right? They're not afraid. So, man, run your business like a toddler, okay? Because that's the way that God created you. The toddler that takes on the world, that jumps off the couch with a blanket tied around their neck as a Batman cape, right? That's who you are in the inside, right? You're the one that's created to slay. You are. Absolutely. You're the one that turns to the storm and says, you know, I am, or you turn to the devil and say, I am the storm, right? I am the storm. That's you. That's you. So you got to walk around with confidence, knowing who you are, who you were when you were born, who the Lord created you to be. And, you know, I got a little hammered last week about me teaching prosperity gospel to everybody, that it's just going to fall from the sky and you just believe it and it'll happen. And, you know, no, actually what I taught was tongue, head, feet, right? So you speak it out loud so you're not speaking death over yourself, which is a very biblical principle. Your mind starts to believe some of the things coming out of your mouth, and then what happens? Your feet move, right? There's action in that. There's action in your movements. If you're distracted, there's no action. If you have a lack of confidence, there's no action, right? There has to be action. Your network marketing business is not going to fall into your lap. It's going to be built because you went out there and you kicked butt. It's going to be built because you didn't stop teaching classes until you're a Royal Crown Diamond with your leg 5 and 6 at 50,000, right? It's going to be built not in a day. It's not instantaneous, and you may not be breaking records with your speed, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just compare you to you, right? But it's not going to be built if you're not teaching, guys. It's not going to be built. So if I'm speaking to you and you're the one that's looking at your January and you taught one class this month, you know what I'm saying, right? Kick up your gear for February. Kick it back up again. It's time to get moving, right? Christmas is over. New Year's Eve is over. You got no more holidays, all right? Valentine's Day for an evening with dinner with your spouse or your sweetheart, right? But outside of that, you got no more holidays right now to decide that you're not going to work. So get out there and go seize the day, right? It's time for you to get moving, and you get moving when you know who you are, right? And that little child, right, that's fearless, that little child that's not afraid of anything, that's who you need to find to do this business, because that's how you have confidence. It's how you have confidence to lead. It's how you have confidence to run boot camps. It's how you have confidence to meet people in their dark places and pull them out of their shells so that they have personal development and they're ready to go run their businesses. It's how you get confidence in all of it, is finding who you were originally created to be, the person without the fear, right? The person that charged forth. Okay, I know who you are, right? I'm getting all your stories. I was a crazy kid. That would be scary for me. It only works if you work. Oh, you're so right. You're so right. Please, guys, if the only thing you get out of this leader training at all for these 12 days, and we got 5 days left and we're done, all right? If the only thing you get out of this is that you fill your calendar for February, I'm going to feel like I did a really good job. Because when your team sees you filling your calendar, they're going to duplicate what they see you doing. And that leads to confidence in your team too, all right? I love you guys. I'm going to post the day 7 video in just a moment, so refresh the page so you can see it. If you're watching this video on my website, then you'll have to go over to the boot camp page and grab the day 7 video and the write-ups, and everything's ready and done for you. This is my last live game plan boot camp. I'm going to miss you guys so much in a few days when this wraps up, so very much. But it's okay. The Lord is closing this chapter for me. Game plan's going to be available for you forever, and He's really put on my heart to talk to the stars and senior stars and distributors that really want to build this business, but they don't know how to get it off the ground, and Unstuck is coming. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. So writing hibernation is almost upon me. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channel. Go grab the day 7 stuff, post it to your pages. You're doing a great job, and you are an amazing leader. You are an amazing leader, you roaring toddler, right? It's probably the only training anywhere where you get called a toddler, and it's a really good thing, right? It's a really good thing. I believe in you so deeply. Don't give up. Okay, don't give up. You text somebody tonight, build a relationship so you can teach a class next week. Okay? And I'll see you on day 8.